Hello, I'm going to do the instructional impact reflection assignment right now, and I'm just going to state my measurable learning segment goal. Student will increase his writing skills from a level of writing incomplete run-on sentences in a paragraph format with a topic sentence, at least 3 detailed sentences, and a concluding sentence. And then, of course, I have my measurable objectives, starting with kind of just writing a sentence um, completely, and then using the graphic organizer and the later 2 measurable objectives. So the performance from baseline to summative assessment, I think considering kind of the assignment and knowledge of my students, I would have set the goal rate much lower. I had, I believe, 90%. And I would have lowered that to starting at his baseline data to 75%. And then I would have increased the um, overall goal to 90%. So, in reality, after collecting data from baseline to summative, um, that's exactly kind of where he started out with, I would say, using proper capitalization, punctuation, and subject verb agreement. And then in the end, he using after instruction and um, doing further sentence writing, and then the support I gave him to the final and modified. His was not an essay, his was a paragraph. Um, he was with all the supports and instruction through direct instruction and collaborative learning groups. He and one-on-one instruction as well in within the small groups. He did reach 90% accuracy for the paragraph. I think the persuasion map, the graphic organizer, was very useful, helpful tool for him in order to organize his thoughts. And then I also kind of had him do an extra step where he wrote the sentences from the main um, on the persuasion map, the main reason 1, 2, and 3. He wrote full sentences for me, and then also with a little one-on-one help, I guided him to write the conclusion, writing 2 sentences as well. Um, so subsequent instruction based on the learner's performance, the next steps for instruction to improve or continued learning. Again, from the data collection, I would encourage and him to use different graphic organizers for writing topics or sentences. I think that was actually very helpful. I'm not sure he would have has maybe used that in the past, but I really thought that it supported him well. Um, and then I also, to improve, like for continued learning and considering the timeline for teaching this, um, I know that supported with research is allowing extended time, and I would have definitely think he would have benefited tremendously from having extended time on these assignments. I also think that he would have benefited a great deal of amount for having, working in a quiet spot or one-on-one for some guidance to kind of eliminate some of the behaviors that he was experiencing or I was experiencing with him during small group and whole group instruction. And I know that we learned in the Cook and Tankersley book that you need to check the effects of the accommodations. So I know it's kind of somewhat limited. Well, not, the research is there, but it's kind of more research is needed to kind of know how that's something that as educators we need to um, follow up with for our own personal assessment is to check how the accommodations and modifications are taking effect. So, and that was kind of something I read with the Elliott and Thurlow study in the Cook and Tankersley book. So, thanks.